Alright, so a wireless lavalier microphone with noise cancellation, mini display, real-time audio monitoring, safety peaking feature, and a dedicated mute button for just under 5,000 pesos. So today, we are checking out this one. This is the Comica Vimo C. Okay, a quick brief about Comica. You probably might not have heard about them just yet, but actually they've been in the market for like quite some time now. And to be a bit more precise, their company was founded way back in 2012. Well, they really specialize in professional audio equipment. I know there are already a bunch of brands out there offering tons of wireless love, right? If you even search in Lazada, Shopee, or even Amazon, you can just type in wireless microphone / lavalier mic and you'll get a ton of results. But the big question is, are they good enough for most users out there, just like you? And that's what we're going to find out. Okay, so to start with, the model we specifically have is the Comica Vimo C3 in white color. And by the way, you can only choose black or white color. There is also a Vimo C2 and Vimo C1. Well, the main difference of the three is that the C1 only has a single receiver and transmitter. Then the C2 comes with a dual transmitter plus the receiver. And the one we got here is the C3, which has included battery case, which is this one, alongside with a receiver that is inserted in the camera right now and the transmitter, which is the one I'm using. And we'll just put the link down below for the official specs on their page for the full technical details of each model. Well, just a quick note, in this review, I'm not going to be very technical about the audio, but more on the practical real usage test. Okay, now like most other wireless lavalier microphone, it comes with this nice hard case pouch to secure all of the cables and accessories included in the box. Here's what you get when you buy the Vimo C3 variant. A 3.5mm twisted TRS to TRS audio cable, and another 3.5mm TRS to TRRS cable. The good thing about this cable is that you can easily identify which is the TRRS cable. The fact that it is color gray, and you will also see this smartphone icon, which is a nice touch. Plus, both ends have this L-shaped jack, great for tight space devices. Next is, we also have a 2-in-1 charging / monitoring adapter cable. Basically, you can insert your headphone jack here to monitor the audio in real time, which I'll discuss more in a bit. Then, we also have two quality wind muffs. White colored as well. We also have here a USB Type-C cable for charging the device, plus some stickers, warranty card documents, manual, and QR code for the digital manual. The Comica Vimo C3 has this nice rectangular rounded edge battery case. And if you compare it with another microphone that we got here is the Holyland Lark M1, you'll notice that they almost have the same build, size, and weight. But the Vimo C3 is a bit boxier. Looking closely at the charging case, we got this nice 4 LED indicators on the left side and the USB Type-C charging port at the bottom. It's a matte texture material, which is great because it's less smudge prone. Personally, the location of the charging port is kind of awkward since I need to either flip the charging case sideways or flat every time I want to charge the device. Looking inside, if we remove the transmitter and receiver, we will see these charging pin connectors. All of them have 2 magnetic pins on each unit. Most of the time, it's accurate and never had any issues that the device is not connecting nor charging. Now, for the charging case, overall it feels okay, not too fancy, but feels generic, and not too flashy like the other brands out there. Next is these 3 devices. Again, the Vimo C3 comes with a dual transmitters and a receiver. Well, speaking of the receiver, once you pull it out of the charging case, it automatically boots up. And if you also pull the transmitters, it will also automatically pair. And during the time of our test, I think we never had any issues that they got disconnected with the receiver. Well, if that might happen, then it's just a press of a button to pair. Now, going back to the receiver, in front we got this matte finish mini display. Not the most brightest and crisp display, but in here we can monitor the battery life for both the receiver and the transmitter. Also, we can see here the signal indicator of the transmitter, then the volume peak meter bar for both. Plus, what I really love about this is that you can see this text indicating the volume number. Yep, this is very handy because if I press the volume button on the left side, it will set the volume number from 1 to max of number 4. And if we press the button / mute button of the transmitter, it will indicate as muted. Also, if I place it back in the charging case. Pretty handy because I no longer have to guess the current volume status. Plus, here's a hidden feature. If I press and hold the same volume button, it will flip the display. Yep, this is very convenient if, for example, I put the receiver on the shoe mount of our camera, which sometimes I wish the display was flipped to my direction. So now with this, I can easily see the info even when the receiver is upside down. It's a small feature but saves a lot of time. The only downside is that it doesn't have any adjustment to lower or brighten the display. Now, before I move on to the transmitters, we also get the out port, which usually goes to your camera or mobile phone. Then the receiver also has 3 modes: mono, stereo, and safety. To access this, you just have to press it and it will indicate the mode status in the mini display. Mono means it will use both the left and right channels simultaneously, even if you use both of the transmitters. While the stereo is best used if you are going to do an interview or multiple hosts, since the left and right channels will be separated. Let's say the transmitter 1 is used by host 1, the transmitter 2 is used by the second host, or the person you are interviewing. In post, you will see the left and the right meter are separated on each channel. The TX1 will be on the left and the TX2 will be on the right. The last is the safety mode. Basically, what it does is that the right channel will be always a lower gain no matter what happens versus the left channel. But do take note that if you still shout, there is still a tendency that both meters will reach its peak volume, even if you set it to volume 1. Again, it's still best to monitor the audio at all times. Also, another thing to note, if you are planning to use this for, let's say, mobile vlogging, unfortunately, either using the Type-C lightning cable or even the 3.5mm port adapter cables will still have a mono output, which in our case, I tested it using the built-in iPhone camera app and the popular Blackmagic app, while also the default camera app in the Android device. We'll explain further in a bit. If you want to utilize the 3 modes, you will still have to use the regular 3.5 jack, or also known as TRS to TRS cable, and a dedicated pro-grade camera that has a mic like the one I'm using right now. During our test, I actually used a iPhone 15 Pro Max using the Type-C 3.5 adapter cable, and then patch it to the Blackmagic app, and then tried several cables and did a bunch of settings. Because if you go to the Blackmagic app, there's this settings to change the audio output. It can be mono, stereo, dual mono, and even 4 channels. I tried all of those. Still, no luck. I even changed the cables and used other third-party accessories just to make it work. I even tried the lightning cable adapter for other iPhone devices like the iPhone 13 mini. Still, the output is in a single channel or mono. And yeah, after all those tests, yeah, that's quite a bummer. Well, I really wanted to utilize this for a mobile setup, but I think it's a app limitation, not a mic issue, because I got into a forum of Blackmagic to see if someone also has the same issue. And there's actually a handful of compatible external microphones for Blackmagic. Although, there's really no full list, but most of the popular pro-grade mics are in there. I'll just link it down below if you're also curious to read that stuff. But yeah, if you plan to use this for mobile shooting, you're stuck to the mono output. Lastly, for the transmitter, it has this unique feature to monitor the audio in real time via the USB port using the included 2-in-1 charging/monitor adapter cable. Simply plug the cable, insert your favorite earphones, and you'll now hear the output of the mic in real time. Again, this is super handy for the cameras that don't have a dedicated headphone port and for mobile devices since it only has 1 port. And most other similar lavalier mic don't offer this feature. Most of them, you have to transfer the files or play back the clip before you even realize that you just ruined your audio in your shot. Another thing is that this cable also acts as a charging port pass-through for the Type-C port and for the receiver. Unfortunately, this port is only for charging and monitoring and won't be compatible for mic pass-through. I tried inserting it directly into the Type-C port of the iPhone 15 Pro Max and it just charges the receiver, which leads me to the good side of it, since you can use the cable again to also charge the receiver on the fly if you plan to use it for a longer period of time. Well, Comica claims that both receivers and transmitters can last up to 8 hours and up to 20 hours of total battery life when you are charging it directly into the charging case. Plus, the charging case will just take a couple of hours. You can also directly charge the unit since they also have a dedicated charging port at the bottom. But either way, it's more convenient to just, well, insert it back into the charging case and just simply insert the cable to the case itself. We really don't shoot for a very long period, so that 8 hours claim is sufficient enough for our day-to-day production workflow. And even during our tests, even if we just put the mic out and forget about it, it has juice once we even realize we forget to put it back in the case. Well, the fact that the transmitter also has a dedicated mute button might help in saving some battery juice. Yep, the transmitter has this mute button. Again, safety but well thought feature. For sure, you have those cases when your host needs to go to the restroom, which actually happened during our shoot.
Wait lang, marinig mo akong CCR.
Or even when off air and they didn't realize that you can still hear them whispering or talking to each other, right? Well, either way, this mute button is a big plus. But the second button in this transmitters is the noise cancellation. Well, I won't really dive much into it because for us, we really want full control during the editing process rather than a destructive way on the fly doing the noise cancellation. But the question is, where can this button be used in a real-world scenario? Well, on top of my head, this is really convenient for those people who are doing, let's say, live simulcast. Let's say when streaming a video or doing a Zoom meeting call, those things that don't need any editing to enhance the audio and just need the noise reduction feature at that moment. That's what I think is the best practical usage of it. Now, of course, this review will not be complete without the range test. So, we tried several tests. One was outdoor and the second is the indoor test. Now, on fine print, the Comica Vimo C is using a 2.5 GHz frequency band, which means it has a longer range due to its ability to penetrate walls and solid objects more effectively. But it is more prone to interference because it's a crowded frequency band used by many devices like other wireless signals. They even claim to have 200-meter range, and true to be told, in our actual range test, we successfully managed to exceed that range. We even got more than 300-meter, but on a line-of-sight range test. Well, sort of. Here's our clip while doing the test. Alright, so this is our range test, so outdoor. So our test will be, I'll go straight here in our subdivision, which is a straight line end to end. While here in our test, you'll see while me walking and riding away from the receiver, you'll notice that I constantly get cut away, for example, when I pass through the humps or when I am facing away the receiver. But whenever I stop walking or moving and then face again the receiver, the audio is crisp and sharp, even in the farthest distance.
I can't pick Kuya B-Boy's signal because I think he's not facing us. Right now, I'm waiting for his reply.
Interference.
Ayan. Now we can hear him, guys.
For sure can already see me in the background, while the drone will see me on top of my current camera. Hi, doggy. So, yeah.
See him already.
Yeah, there you go. So, that's the range test of this one. So, you can hear how clear the audio, even though I'm very far out there. And you will also see whenever I surpass the humps, that there will be some error in the microphone. Oh, there you go. Alright. So, there you go. So, that's the test of the microphone. Also, take note that Comica stated in their manual that, again, due to the characteristics of the 2.5 GHz frequency, you'll need to face the receiver always to get the best result. Like, for example, this one. And for the indoor test, if there are already a lot of walls interfering from the receiver, it will have the same result. Which, here during our test, when I went back to the facade of our studio, Earl didn't manage to hear any of the words that I was telling. Alright, so let's start with this one. So I'm walking here the pathway, going to the entrance, and going to our front door. So actually,
Okay, parang... Okay, guys. He got disconnected na. Probably when he entered the door or before he entered the door. And yeah.
Okay.
Again, he's back.
But when I got into a more open space with less wall blocking the receiver, he managed to hear me again. Earl will explain when I got disconnected. So for sure I will not hear that because I'm on the other side of the microphone. Anyway, so now I am in the...
Okay, the first one, he got disconnected when
doing our payroll. And now, so
when he's about to enter.
forget what you see here
studio.
now. Because
Workplace,
it's very... so we have here the editing room. And
Yeah,
I'm inside the
amazing.
editing room, by the way. So I'm going to close the door there. And not sure if Earl is still going to hear me.
I can
Alright,
still hear
so going back, I'm going to the payroll room. So this is our standing desk, flatly. Then we have a green screen and a bunch of the phones. So I might blur some of this one because some of them are NDA. Anyway, so now I'm going.
We lost him again, guys. He got lost when he entered the B-roll room. The B-roll room is where we do our flat lay shots, unboxing videos, and some other stuff that we do on our socials. And right now, we lost him again. His signal is
summarize what
actually back
happened
again.
during the test of this. All right, so Earl, so what happened? And the beauty of the dedicated audio monitoring is that he can get the idea where I got cut off.
You entered by the A-roll room?
Yeah, so you didn't hear the A-roll room?
Yeah.
Okay. Boss room.
I wasn't able to hear you when you entered.
Okay. So there you go. So in the final edit, you will see where my location. Earl doesn't know again because I'm on the other side of the camera. But so that's the test of the Comica Vimo C. And let us know what can you say about this wireless microphone. Alright, so for the price of less than 5,000, well, actually more than 5,000 pesos if you include the additional cables and accessories for the mobile. Will I recommend it? Well, actually, yes. If you're a content creator that needs a wireless lavalier mic with the features that I mentioned, like the mini display, dedicated mute button, real-time audio monitoring, noise cancellation, and long battery life, then try this. Because to be honest, if we will compare it to another established brand like the Hollyland Lark M1, it has the same capabilities, but all the features I mentioned except for the noise cancellation feature, it has a more price advantage. I think it's even lower depending where you're going to purchase it. But if you need a feature like a built-in storage recording or has a dedicated app that the Rode mic is offering, so you won't need to always patch it directly to the camera or devices that you are using, and has a better range and less breakpoints on a crowded environment, or have a dedicated wired lav port, then there are other options for you. But for me, it checks all the basic audio needs. I like that I can monitor the audio via the mini display or using earphone. I like that the fact it is portable, lightweight, and compact. I like that it has the basic cables that I need, like the TRRS cable, and the fact that all of the ports are already Type-C. But when it comes to audio, if this is just for social media contents, I won't be picky unless we plan to use it for a more professional level production workflow. So there you have it. That is our review of the Comica Vimo C3. We'll link all the details down below the like button, and if you find this video helpful, we'd appreciate if you hit that like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more video and contents like this. You can also follow us on our social media accounts like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and X. Once again, I'm B-Boy. Thanks for watching, and see you in our next video.